Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. And in this video, I will deliver the horrible news about the Last of Us Factions. So the Last of Us Factions is unfortunately scrapped. Boy, oh boy, am I so surprised. I've been waiting, man, since, oh my goodness, like 3 years. So this is just like my reactions. Plus, I'm going to drop some news for you guys since I've been covering it for a while. Yeah, so Naughty Dog apparently just can't afford it. It makes sense. I don't know why they waited all this time, but apparently they are crushed about it. They figured that they had about two options, which was create this and support it for years to come, but all their money and resources will be poured into it, or scrap it and be able to make more projects, single player projects in the future, which they excel at. They're great at single player, of course. And I would imagine down the line, probably Last of Us Part 3, and then plus they have another IP that has like fantastical elements involved. There were some Easter eggs before. So am I disappointed? Hell yeah, I'm super disappointed, man. It's just like I've been waiting for such a long time. And I really thought, man, Game Awards was such a bummer, wasn't it? Last time, my goodness, we got concept art, San Francisco. That seemed really promising. And in this Game Awards, I thought at least something would happen with The Last of Us. Nada. So then I thought, oh, okay, maybe they're waiting until the show, which I know that the show, it probably will come out in like 2025 or something. I don't know. I doubt like next year. I think they're going to start filming in April or February. I don't know, something like that. And, how things come together in the media. And when one thing's introduced, it's because it's a little tease or their little SEO thing to get everything combined, and a lot of press and publicity, and there was never a right time for it, I guess. And it's really unfortunate because the studio said it, everyone's saying it, this thing was going to be huge. I'm not a really big multiplayer fan, but this would have got me hooked. I don't know how they hired some guy from Fortnite, I reported a long time ago. So yeah, it's kind of all for nothing. But the silver lining is the technology that they've perhaps invented. The investment into that, I think, can really excel them. Because I'm sure to do these type of games, this is really out of the box thinking to design this type of game with the structure and all. And then plus you have the map. What I'm curious is, will that map be completely scrapped? I hope they recycle it. I'm thinking, what if in The Last of Us Part 3, they could perhaps include that map somehow into a mission, or later down in the story, at least like traveling now, or perhaps it could be DLC, something like that. I think actors recorded, or a long time ago, they were going to do this. They were like doing this casting call thing. And I believe the report was, and I did report it back then, the report was that they have like this main hub, and they have these main characters, and you could pick choose one of them and just play as them. And so it's sort of like this RPG / live service thing. And I think there's perhaps PvP, PvE. It's just, it sucks. I feel kind of bitter about it. I'm not going to lie, because I love The Last of Us, and so this was definitely disappointing. I don't know why they waited so long. Like, you couldn't have figured out that it's just gonna take too much time and money, unless they're getting the ball rolling on some other project now, and they're like, hey, look, you know what? No, we got to scrap this shit because you guys are making it too big and taking too long. And or perhaps they didn't want to break the news yet, and so that's why we had so many updates saying, hey, we're not going to show it yet, we're still hard at work. Hey, that's probably when the discussions were happening, and they were like, hey, let's just reveal this now at the end of the year so no one gets any false hopes. It sucks, but again, they must have got something from it, and I think the lesson they learn is really valuable. And hopefully they could apply that to future projects. I mean, and again, this is the Last of Us asset, so I don't think they're going to use it anywhere else. So they worked on it for a long time. Whatever they have cooked up here, which I'm sure probably down the line we'll probably see some leaks or some concept art and ArtStation a little bit down the line. But again, these assets, you could use it for a single player game in the future. You can recycle it. And whatever animations they come up with, anything. So if anything, this is as if you were making another Last of Us game. You're just making the certain elements of that and adding it here. So I would assume that will hopefully ramp up the time to make The Last of Us 3. Or maybe The Last of Us 3 is going to be a really huge game. Because The Last of Us Part 2 was really big. So if they do that with The Last of Us Part 3, yeah, it's going to be huge. I hope, because I really want to see what they got cooked up, man. I really do. And, you know, CD Projekt Red, I heard for Cyberpunk 2, they're planning on using Unreal Engine 5. And that's such a smart move. Because, you know, all the software is proprietary, but to actually use Unreal Engine 5 is a great idea. It speeds up the process and it looks amazing, phenomenal. And not only that, you know, ray tracing and all, and then plus certain gameplay elements. So I wonder if they're going to go full on that technology. And long time ago, I reported that The Last of Us Part 3 may show up during the PS5's, you know, ending of its life cycle, which is about, what, 2026 or 2027, around that time. Every Last of Us game came out during the ending of a life cycle for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Last of Us Part 2, and then now we have nothing. But hopefully we'll get The Last of Us Part 3 teased in, I don't know, 2025 or something like that. I know there was a lot of disdain for the Game Awards, in part because the ads and also the reveals. I said to my co-host Dylan long time ago that pay attention to the gaming industry, because that's where the money really comes from. It's not really from, you know, sports entertainment or movies. It's really from the gaming industry. So if that seems like it's declining and the workforce is unhappy, then that kind of shows how the future will be. So I mean, honestly, I don't blame them for reusing the assets for this. I really don't. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. Yeah, I just wanted to update you guys. I stuck with it, trying to update you guys whenever I can, and this is most likely going to be the last time I update you guys on The Last of Us Factions, unless some stuff is revealed. And I doubt, you know, it'd be nice, man, if they actually post it on their YouTube channel, like, hey, look, this is us, this is our shit. Yo, man, I would go crazy. But of course, they're going to save that because they probably want to use that in the future. So I don't blame them again. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I appreciate your patronage as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for delivering the news. But thank you so much as always. I'll see you guys.